If you are a podcaster and you are trying to dominate social media, you're trying to really bring your follower to 7 digits or 8 digits, you have to understand that social media works hand in hand with the podcasting. What I'm trying to say here is that your followers, your listeners, they're probably hanging out on some type of social media, or maybe one, maybe two. Maybe they are hanging out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Pinterest, or whatever. Okay, so your job as a podcaster, if you're trying to dominate social media, is to understand where your listeners mostly hang out at. Okay, that's the important element to pay attention to. First thing first, before we talk about how to dominate social media this year, I want to explain to you a few things. Why should you use social media for promoting your podcast in the first place? Before I go into the reasons, you have to understand that social media actually has more traffic than whatever podcasting platform you currently have. I don't care what platform where you're at. Maybe it's Apple or Spotify. Social media is going to really draw more listeners. Think about it. You think you take YouTube. YouTube has about 2.3 billion visitors every single month. You think Facebook, you're looking at 3 billion. No other platform has that kind of traffic. Okay, so social media always is going to be higher when it comes to traffic, when it comes to exposure than your podcasting platform. Now, the reason why you want to use social media for promoting a podcast is that social media is the core of your podcast community. You are able to maximize research. You are able to create excitement and traction, and that's important. You got to really create excitement and traction not only for upcoming episodes, but also for past episodes, right? You want to keep the conversation going about your podcast, but also about your guest, but also about the topic of the podcast. You are able to reach into your podcast guest communities, and you can also establish a brand presence and name. And the brand presence and name is going to help you scale your podcast. Because when you have a podcast, the goal here is not just to amass a certain number of listeners. The goal is to scale that podcast into a business that thrives, into a business that lasts, into a business that actually can bring you constant revenue. So if you are a podcaster, you're trying to dominate social media, you're trying to really, let's say, draw a lot of traffic, you're trying to have millions of followers, you want to understand that you want to be in a situation where you are creating short form video clips. The thing is that your podcast is probably 30 minutes or 1 hour, or maybe like Joe Rogan experience 3 hours or 4 hours. Okay, nobody has time to really like a random viewer is not going to dedicate that much time to listen to you unless he or she is already a convert. He or she is already a listener. He or she is, let's say, an aficionado or aficionada. What I'm trying to say is that when you have short form video clips, you are really tapping into an audience, a potential audience out there. So you can have 30 minutes, 30 minutes, a 30-second summary, a 30-second summary of your 3 hour podcast, where you are really sort of clipping and you're cutting and clipping and pasting the important parts that you want to really let's say share with random viewers. Okay, so that's the first thing. First thing, you want to create short form video clips. Second thing is, if you are a podcaster and you're trying to dominate social media, you want to think about audio clips. So you have video clips, but you also have audio clips. Why? Sometimes people are in the train, or they are in an area, or they are in a nightclub or whatever, or they are at a party where they're bored, right? And they just want to really be able to do something. Well, basically, if you have video clips, that's good, but you can also have audio clips. Okay, so in a similar way, audio clips or audiograms are an effective way to promote your podcast, especially on Twitter, now called X, for example, which is not focused solely on video content, right? So you got to really see the platform, the social media platform, and see how you can really resonate with the audience. So audiograms are another form of bite-sized teaser for your content, but instead of short video clips, they are brief sound bites. Okay, so that's kind of cool to think about, especially for the long run. If you are a podcaster and you are trying to dominate social media this year, you want to think about quotes. I mean, you could be thinking about quotes or boring quotes or quote unquote lethargic, but they're not. If you have a powerful quote and you have some kind of nice graphics around that quote, you are going to really appeal to a lot of listeners. Okay, so quotes are really powerful. So you can pull interest in quotes and make them into I mean, you can make them up into an Instagram post, thread, or a tweet. Okay, tweet. It's one of those things where you have to see what resonates with your audience. What does your audience like? Okay, this is actually a nice way to give your followers a taste of the conversation or topic for the upcoming episode without giving too much away, right? You still want them to really watch, I mean, not watch, yeah, watch or listen to the podcast. So this is a great teaser for you to really invest in. So quotes are fantastic. You also have the next thing you want to do here is you want to think about tagging. So you want to tag and collaborate with podcast guests, okay? If you want to dominate social media, actually collaborating with podcast guests is a very powerful way. Why? Because those guests, they probably have their own following too. So if you're able to tap into a great circle of guests and they are able to, let's say, commingle, they're able to merge their respective followers, you are going to grow real fast. You are going to expand the reach of your podcast. Okay. So whatever content you're using to promote your podcast, you should really tap into your podcast guests communities. This means encouraging them to post about the upcoming episode and share all the clips and teasers that you upload. Okay, and they can do this before, during, and after the podcast. You also want to include your audience in your podcast. So if you're trying to dominate social media, you want to really create a system or an experience whereby your audience feels included. Okay, so you can actually engage with your audience. You can ask your followers for topics they want to see covered or questions they want to ask your guest for that week. This is actually a great way to really elicit inclusion, but elicit also accountability. Is also an effective way of including your listeners in the entire podcast process. That way, they feel part of the equation. So, if you are a podcaster, you're trying to dominate social media this year. Besides the five hacks that I gave you, let me share with you a few tools that can really help you. Okay, a few platforms, podcasting tools slash platforms, so that you can streamline promoting your podcast on social media. First, you have Riverside. So Riverside has been around for a while. I mean, they do fantastic work. And Riverside is actually a video creation platform that has a whole area of powerful features that will support your social media efforts. So that's kind of cool. And what I love about Riverside is that if you are a podcaster and you are looking to integrate your social media content creation strategy into your podcasting workflow, you want to use Riverside. Riverside is also perfect for creating short form clips alongside your regular content. So that's kind of cool. Next, you have Headliner. So Headliner is really cool also. This is an app that's all about helping you promote your podcast. It is actually a perfect solution for creating audiograms, and short form clips for social media. It also includes a transcription feature, but only for 10 minutes per month on the free plan. So Headliner, also what I love also is that they offer templates for quick, easy, yet professional videos and audiograms. You also have Buffer. So Buffer is another great player to really think about. Buffer is not really about podcasting. So Buffer says that it is actually the best social media scheduler in the UK and in the US. Okay, so Buffer does a great job because it lets you schedule your posts, visualize how your content will work on your feeds, track and analyze your content performance, among other things. So that's kind of cool. Okay. And one thing I want to say also is that if you're thinking about the best strategy for you, just remember that you have the possibility of doing creation but also you have the possibility of doing post scheduling, and that's important. One thing I want to say here is that using a social media scheduler helps you consolidate your uploading and posting workflows and saves you time in the long run, especially if you are trying to, let's say, scale your podcast. You can bulk upload and schedule and get a clear overview of what your posting schedule looks like in the coming days, weeks, or even months. So that's kind of cool. If you are a podcaster and you want to dominate social media, I want you to think about Later.com. Later.com is another wonderful platform. And this platform helps you automate your social media tasks and admin. You also get access to their link in bio feature that allows you to include, let's say, multiple URLs in your Instagram bio. You can also use their analytics tools to measure your content's reach and performance. So that's really good. And what you will love also is that Later.com, yeah, they have a range of content creation features that help to streamline your workflows. Next, you have HubSpot. HubSpot is another big player for you to really consider. And HubSpot is more than just a social media scheduler. Although this is one of its key functionalities, HubSpot is a CRM platform that can act as your marketing, sales, service, CMS, and operations hub all in one. So that's kind of cool. CRM stands for Client Relationship Management, and CMS, Content Management System. Okay. So the cool thing is that you can schedule your post and track your performance using a HubSpot CRM. You also have Canva. I mean, everybody knows Canva. So Canva is an all-in-one design and visual community tool and visual communication tool. You can use it to create actually a branded and cohesive social assets. And Canva is also a great platform for use across your podcasting brand beyond social media too. So Canva comes loaded with a number of intuitive tools and free to use templates and icons. So when you think about Canva, think about a tool that's great for podcasters who want to create a cohesive brand identity with an easy to use tool. Next, you have also Linktree. So Linktree might seem like a niche tool, but for Instagram, it is a must-have. It is not possible to include links in Instagram captions, which is why you often see people write link in bio. And so Linktree allows you to include multiple links in your bio instead of Instagram's standard limit of one. This is hugely necessary if you want your followers to be able to find an episode that you have referred to in a previous post. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So if you are a podcaster and you want to dominate social media, you also have to pay attention to the platforms. The tools are cool, but you have to really be clear about the platforms that you want to really go with. Okay. So what is actually the best social media platform to promote a podcast on? First, I want you to really think about Instagram. I mean, Instagram is fantastic. Has been around for a while. Okay, very responsive, very scalable. So Instagram is a visually based social media platform that revolves around photos and short videos. And so those are called Reels, Instagram Reels. So following TikTok and YouTube short form video trend, Instagram released Reels. Okay, Reels best for reaching new audiences. Okay, so they are really great for that. But you can also post photos or create informative carousels for your podcast. So if you think about Instagram, what are the pros and cons here in terms of your podcasting business? Well, pros, you can post content in different formats, making this an ideal choice for you if you don't have as much video or visual materials. And also, you have good in app analytics. On the flip side, Instagram does not allow you to include links and captions. And also, an aesthetically pleasing feed is more of an expectation here than on other platforms. So, Instagram is best for you as a podcaster if you are keen to build a community and brand reputation. So, in terms of what to post, you should post a mix of image based content and short form videos to maximize your exposure and reach. You also have YouTube Shorts. Okay, you might be familiar with YouTube as a long form video format, but there are short form TikTok and Real Contender Shorts gives you the perfect medium for marketing your podcast this year. So the cool thing is that YouTube Shorts can feed traffic into an existing YouTube podcast channel where you are posting your full length podcast to YouTube already. And YouTube has over 2 to 3 billion users, so you are tapping into a large audience, okay? The only thing is you are limited to video content, so if you don't record video, another platform may be better. And if you don't have a YouTube presence, it might not make sense to post there. So YouTube Shorts are great for you as a podcaster if you post your full-length content regularly to YouTube, okay? So short-form video clips that give your viewers a taste of your full-length episodes are the way to go. So I want you to think also about TikTok. If you want to dominate social media, think about TikTok. So TikTok is really a social media platform that's actually based solely on short form videos, usually less than 1 minute. You'll never find like 5 minutes or 10 minutes on TikTok, okay? And the platform has well over a billion users and is particularly popular among Gen Z and millennials. They don't have 2 billion as YouTube or 3 billion, but they're coming strong, okay? So with TikTok, you have a huge potential reach. Content is less polished, so you don't have to spend as much effort making the perfect aesthetic. You don't have to spend money trying to polish your video or trying to edit your video. Okay, just raw videos are also good. It's all about the talent that you are really, let's say, instilling into the video, the creativity. On the flip side, the younger demographic of users might not be a good fit for your target audience, and this is a video-only platform. Okay, so TikTok is great for podcasters with a younger audience who want to create more natural content to reach a wider audience. So you want to post short form clips and videos that relate to your podcast. Finally, I want you to really also think about Twitter, now called X. So Twitter, now called X, centers around quick and short text posts. You can post videos and images as well, but the focus is on short bites of info and sparking conversations, okay? So Twitter, now called X, is great for asking your audience, let's say, questions, thoughts, and responses. And the text focus can work better for audio-only podcast. So that's really fantastic. On the flip side, since it's rebranded to X, there is some uncertainty about the future of the app, okay? People are saying, well, that Elon Musk, the CEO, the owner of Twitter, now called X, is going to rebrand something. So the character limit is characteristics of the app, and that can be frustrating. And Twitter is not really image or video oriented, though you can include them. Okay, so Twitter is great for podcasters who want to build an interactive community. Threads can be a great place for engaging and interacting with your listeners. So that's kind of cool. So on Twitter, now called X, you can post text-based promotion, images, and audiograms. You can also post short-form videos, but Twitter is not as focused on this kind of content. So you have to really see what works for you, okay, and what doesn't work for you. So here's the epilogue into this conversation. I explained to you how you as a podcaster can dominate social media with certain hacks, how to really grow your followers to millions, okay? I give you the trends, the top hacks, the tools, the platforms, and now the epilogue. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.